Frogwares Games Development Studios is widely recognized for its adventure games created for major gaming platforms. Their most recent installment, their popular series of Sherlock Holmes games, Sherlock Holmes: Crimes and Punishments, was released last week. But Frogwares' headquarters is located in Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, which has been embroiled in a nationwide political conflict for the past year. Public demonstrations last November in Kyiv Central Square led to violent clashes between Ukrainian citizens and the police force, resulting in several civilian deaths. OP Noobs spoke with Olga Ryzhko, the associate producer at Frogwares and a longtime member of their team, about Frogwares' experiences developing their latest Sherlock Holmes game in a city and country rife with conflict and revolution. Olga Ryzhko, thank you for speaking with us today. Give us an idea of what it was like for Frogwares to be in Kyiv during the beginning of the Euromaidan protests and the start of the Ukrainian crisis.
Right now, it feels like it happened like really, really long time ago. Everything started, it was like the end of 2013. And actually, it started when the guy, he posted the Facebook status saying like, take your friends, take some hot tea and your good mood, and let's meet at Maidan. Maidan, that's like the central square in Kiev. And the post, everyone shared it, and maybe it gathered like, I don't know, 100 people, maybe more. So actually, the entire thing, it started like kind of very positive, with cheerful atmosphere, a lot of young people hanging around, walking, singing, smiling, like everyone is happy. But like very, like, very soon it changed. It changed like drastically. It changed to some fear, to some apathy, maybe anger, But on the same time, people who were there, we had this incredible feeling, of feeling united, feeling of solidarity, while we were working on Sherlock Holmes game on Crimes and Punishments.
How did the crisis affect Frogwares and its employees on an everyday basis?
So, I mean, you spend the day in the office, you're making the game, or you're doing your duties, like, your usual things. And then after the office hours, you go there. That's how it was for us. We're around like 80 people. The number varies, but we had those team members who supported and who were spending their time at Maidan. And surely we had those who were against it. Maybe who were against, or maybe who didn't support that much. You know what I mean? So we had like kind of balance. But it was okay to come in the morning to the office and to discuss the latest news, then focus on your duties, and then again discuss a little bit this and a little bit that. But it wasn't the fight. It wasn't like negative or anything like that. Everything like we know each other like for pretty long time. I mean, people at Maidan, they were spending 24 hours a day there, so there was always someone. And some of our team members, they were like absent in the office for a few hours in the morning or a few hours after the lunch, But it didn't really affect the development.
Did Frogwares ever consider relocating the studio to another country while the crisis played out? To your office in Dublin, for instance?
No, we never actually consider it. Never. We are fine here. We're safe. I mean, the place Maidan, it's like 4 metro stations from us. But even in the busiest or in the most horrible days, there, like few blocks away from Maidan, it was already safe there.
Is there anything in the final version of Crimes and Punishments that wouldn't be there if not for what has happened in Ukraine?
What we did, it was middle March probably, that we decided to insert the splash screen when you start the new game. The splash screen that was dedicated to the Heavenly 100. That's what we refer to people who were shot dead in February 2014. We had some kind of anonymous voting, inside of the studio. And most of the people, they agreed that we need it. That's what happened to us. That's what we were living when making the game. So
Did Frogwares' proximity to the conflict have any influence on the game itself?
What I'm saying is that Sherlock Holmes game, these Crimes and Punishments, that's the game about Sherlock Holmes. That's not about the situation in Ukraine. That's not about what was happening here or what's happening here now. Crimes and Punishments, it's not a national product. It doesn't promote some Ukrainian national values or traditions or whatever Ukraine is known for. So that's the product for the worldwide audience.
One of the primary factors of this conflict is the desire of many Ukrainians to forge stronger ties with the European Union while moving away from the traditionally close relationship that Ukraine has with Russia.
Not exactly the way that we see it. This entire Maidan thing, that was the start and the way it happened, but it wasn't as opposed to Russia, or it wasn't actually linked even to it or tied to it, That started more about the dictator that we had here in Ukraine and his desire to close the country even more than he did before. It's not especially getting a closer relation with Russia or anything like that.
Sherlock Holmes, the main character of the games your company is known for, is from England, a major player in the European Union. Can you address this game's relationship with the political shift in Ukraine?
The detective, he was always, and he's still, extremely popular both in Russia and Ukraine, like the rest of the world. We here had some very famous TV series with actor Livanov, and we even worked with him to voice some of our games before. And it's just that Sherlock Holmes, he's not an ambassador of the European Union. I'd say that he's the testimony of the 19th century. He is the testimony of the intelligence. This intelligence, that's the value to be shared among everyone, among humanity, among all the Slavic countries that we have here.
Video games are often thought of as an escape from the harsh realities of the world. Given the current events in Ukraine, did Frogwares see Crimes and Punishments as a vehicle for escape?
That's our biggest and most ambitious game. That's kind of epic for us. A very small studio compared to others. We do not have the means, we do not have the budgets. We have a lot of ideas, we have a lot of potential. And with this Sherlock Holmes game, that was the entire Euromaidan thing. It didn't have some direct influence on the game, but it did influence us people, because it was really difficult to stay focused on the job while something horrible is while they actually killing people next door to you, when you do not know what's going to happen tomorrow, when you're not sure that there is any tomorrow. So that was really difficult. On the finalization of the product, everything that happened, first the Maidan, now there's some kind of war announced. So yes, that was emotionally very, very difficult. So that was the dominant emotion, You are not able to work normally, you're not able to function the way that you are used to. You are starting your days, your day with checking the news, checking Facebook, checking Twitter. That's the same way that you finish your day. You're always online. You're always trying to find more. You can go ahead and check different news portals, the Ukrainian ones and the Russian ones. Of course, they have completely politically different views on the situation, news, prognosis, whatever.
Now that we are approaching a year since the beginning of the protests, how are things for Frogwares in Ukraine today?
What's happening now in Ukraine, we have a lot of volunteer movements, really a lot. So we are gathering money for everything. We are gathering money for the army, money for those people who are living in the area. We are gathering money for those who left the area. We are gathering money for I don't know what, for everything. In June, we launched this humble bundle sale, and we raised around $150,000, and we gave everything to the Red Cross here in Ukraine. not the worldwide Red Cross, but strictly to the Ukrainian one. And we're also now like in the process to help some few small orphanage houses here, one in Kiev, one outside of Kiev. So I mean, we are pretty busy, not only on game development, but also we have a lot of things to take care of.
Olga, Ryzhko, thank you so much for speaking with OP Noobs. We wish you and everyone else at Frogwares the best.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you for your support. Thank you for allowing me, to share that to as much people as possible. And that's my pleasure as well.